I was thinking about starting this new thing on YouTube. I'm sorry that my makeup looked crazy because I took my eyelashes off because you can see I'm in the bed. So I wanted to start a YouTube channel about black hair. There's so much stuff that we don't know that we're actually doing wrong with our hair, and it boils down to where we learned things about hair. And it's not our fault that the things that we learn are not good for our hair. We learn things that are good for other cultures' hair, and we try to replicate it in our regimen and our hair. But now that I'm licensed, and I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I'm on this natural hair growth journey for a lot of my day one, A1 people that know that, she's doing this to help hair growth and to better our hair, I thought it was important to start. I don't know everything, but definitely start the process of teaching my culture and cultures who have hair types that might not be the easiest to deal with because there's just not a lot of knowledge out there about it. More about curly, kinky, coily hair. So let's start with the basics. I'm going to start with the basics first, and then I'm going to graduate into other things, into explaining other things throughout my time. So hair is made up of certain things that is in everyone's hair. What I mean when I say that is that there are bonds that are connected that make up hair. So I'm not going to dive into what those bonds are. If you're licensed, you already know what I'm talking about. Hydrogen bond, like all that stuff. You already know that. If you're not licensed, I'm just going to keep it pretty simple. There are things that make up hair that is the same in everybody's hair. It doesn't matter what your culture is. Where these things start changing depends on a lot of things. Heredity, moisture in the air, products that you use, things like tension, constant touching of your hair, chemical use, chemical misuse. There's a lot of factors that also play a part in what makes your hair the best that it could be. So, to put simply, everyone's hair is made up of the same bonds. These bonds are connected, and when those connections are manipulated, it changes what hair is. Manipulation can come from a lot of different factors. The factors that I just talked about, along with other things too. I'm not going to go into every single thing that can affect your hair, but if you find a hairdresser that really understands hair and understands what makes your hair, so that they can make sure that when they manipulate it, it's in the best way possible, you have found yourself a good thing. I truly believe that your hair is your crown, especially for women, especially for black women. We have so much hatred in the world against just being women that the only thing that we can hold dear to ourselves is what we think makes our hair beautiful. We could feel like sweatpants and a t-shirt, but our hair could look great, and that it just brings the whole ensemble together. Or we can be dressed to impress, But for some reason, our hair just isn't at its best, and it throws off the whole look. So that's when you find the sisters and brothers that have a great outfit, but their hair just ain't hitting. It's just not popping as much as the outfit is, or as much as the makeup is. That's where I come in. I'm going to make a pledge that I'm going to dedicate my life to understanding hair. It's a never-ending journey, but to some extent, there are things that are very simple. Something that is very simple about hair is what makes it up. Once you understand that all hair is made up of the same things, then you can understand further what makes your hair yours and not someone else's. So you can do something to someone's hair and it can have an effect on it that it doesn't have on your hair. I'm not a huge fan of when people say, don't use this product. I can tell you what products I don't use on my hair type. And I'm actually going to make a pledge that I'm going to stop doing that. I'm not going to tell people that when you use things like Cantu, it's not good for your hair. Sometimes it is good for some people's hair, and there's a reason for that. It's because of the makeup of their hair. It's because of what their hair is that they take some products that are in some chemicals and some lines, and it just happens to work for them. Other people, it doesn't work for them, but it doesn't mean that these products don't work. It just means it doesn't work for that particular hair type. You can have multiple different hair types in one head. That's no lie. You can have high porosity in the front of your hair, low porosity in the back of your hair. You can have medium porosity from your roots to your mid-strand, and then have high porosity from your mid-strand to your ends. There's no defining what one person's hair is because you're that person, that's what your hair. No, everyone has a hair type. If you can find someone that understands what your hair type is, like I said, you found yourself a good thing. It takes consistency though. Please stop thinking that good hairdressers can figure out what's wrong with your hair the first time they see you. It ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is a lie. It takes knowing your hair, trying things with your hair, understanding the general part of hair, and going from that fact to what makes your hair special for you, that makes what I do such a great thing. I'm not here to tell you what is right and what is wrong with hair. I'm just here to tell you if something is wrong overall for all hair, I'm going to tell you to stop doing that. If something is right for some people but not right for others, I'm going to tell you what people would benefit from it and what people will not. That's what my hope and my mindset of what I'm going to start doing is. I'm going to start educating people on hair. And I hope and I pray that the first group of people that will take just the appreciation of it and take the knowledge from it will be the Black community. Because, and this is no shade to any other culture, we are the ones that have been misinformed the most. We are the ones that have been stripped from our heritage the most. So the knowledge and the years of experience, the years of getting on people's nerves and making mistakes and getting things right and guessing and not really knowing how I got to that conclusion, and then doing it again and saying, oh, well, that's how I got to this conclusion because I did this and this the same and it still had the same reaction. All of these experiments, all of these trials and errors that I've gone through over the years has brought me to where I am now, where I'm comfortable enough to say, I think it's time for me to start making sure that my brothers and my sisters and everyone, honestly, have a better understanding about hair. So yeah, that's what I'm going to start doing. And like I said, the first lesson is Hair is the same no matter who you are. The makeup of hair, the bonds that are connected, the root, the deep down actual thing that makes up hair is the same thing. Don't think that it's not the same. It is the same. Just like everyone's blood is red, hair has the same bonds that are connected as any culture. It doesn't matter your culture. Hair is made up of the same exact things. These things can be manipulated into getting you the style that you're looking for. Those manipulations can differ depending on your culture, depending on your hair's personality or characteristics, or what makes your hair especially you. Some people come to me and they know their background. They know, oh, I'm half Irish, I'm half black, and I'm half Spanish. They know what they are. That helps me say, okay, then I know your hair needs this, this, and this because of your culture. But the manipulation that I'm going to do in order to make sure those things get into the hair shaft, I can do it with anybody here. How much your hair can take and how much your hair needs is what's special. So I want everyone that watches this video to think in their mind, my hair is not more worse or better than anyone else's. My hair is the same as everyone else's. How I take care of it, what things it needs more and what things it needs less of, that's what makes it special. What are those things? That is going to be probably my next few videos. I'm going to slowly walk people through this because the years of knowledge that I've accumulated and the studies that I've done in order to be a licensed cosmetologist are things that it took time for me to get to. I didn't do this overnight, nor was it fun. Some of it was boring. So I'm going to try to keep it as fun and as entertaining and as uplifting and as empowering as possible. But sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes the truth is going to hurt, and I'm not going to hold back. People that know me personally know that I'm not a hold back kind of person. I'm a Taurus, so I'm very upfront. I'm very honest, and I don't really have a reason to apologize because I know that what I'm saying is true, and I know that I'm not intentionally trying to hurt anyone. So if any of my silky haired friends are offended by anything that I've said so far, I'll only apologize to the point where I'm not trying to separate from you. I'm not trying to be different from you. But I do also want to give a lot of attention to my curly haired people because a lot of them are the ones that don't really know hair. They don't know why their hair is the way that it is. Some of them take good care of their hair and they don't even understand why what they're doing is good for their hair, to an extent where they are just doing the same thing that they've always done and it happens to work for their hair. I want to open up that world of, let's find out why these things are happening. Some medical conditions do not mean your hair has to be in a bad condition. I bet you didn't know that one. Some hereditary conditions do not mean your hair has to be in a bad condition. Sometimes mixtures of things can cause it. And I'm here to tell you that each person's hair is unique once we get down that path. But for now, we're just going to say all hair is made up of the same thing. It is up to us, stylists. It's our responsibility to make sure that we hold true the integrity of hair. And that's what I'm going to do. So I hope you guys like this journey I'm going to be on. And I pray for more hair for everyone out there. Later.